Imagine. Take your wildest dream and make it a reality. Make it not a dream anymore. Make it something that's real. Bring it to fruition. Tell yourself you're a star.
Peace, peace, peace. Choose to inspire, not destroy podcast, and we're back.
Austin.
Yo, choose to inspire, not destroy.
But you just missed a whole nice little.
Oh, it was fly.
Opening.
That was.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was getting in my bag. It was all right.
Nah, you was.
All right. I mean, all right. Well, let's get to work then. Peace. Choose to inspire, not destroy podcast, episode 24, and we're back. I got my guys with me, Rion, Kofi, I'm G. If this is your first time here, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy it and you decide to stick with us going past this. If you've been here before, peace, salute to you, respect. Hope you're inspired and you've been doing well, and thank you for sticking with us, man. We got a really special one today, and before we get into that, fellas, what's up? How y'all doing?
I'm good.
Everything's good. Can't complain. I got one day off. I got one of these schedules where I have one day off, then I work tomorrow, so I got to do as much as I can today. So it's what it is. Having fun, relaxing.
When's the next time you're off?
After tomorrow. You saw the schedule. I sent it to you. It's like this one day in the middle of nothing, and then I work tomorrow. Then I'm off for 4 days.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, that's how the schedules be working.
Yeah. That's why we tried to squeeze this one on. Rion, we appreciate you, King, for making time to sit and chop it up with us. Kofi, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Just swamped with work. That's all.
Yeah, you need a mancation. I mean, you don't need a vacation. You don't need a vacation. You just need a Kofi-cation, matter of fact, because you always working, always doing something. Salute to you, man. You a good dude, and you handle your business. So props on that.
Thank you.
I got nothing but love to show today, this episode. So I'm not gonna dish you at all. I feel like it's been a while since I dished you anyway. So
the last show you did.
I did. I ain't hit you with a buzzer. So you might get a buzzer today. Who knows if the vibe is right? But I'ma just keep it real from the beginning, man. I asked for this one. This one means a lot to me. It was some stuff that I needed to get off. I'ma just call it a mental health check, because I had a few rough days that I needed to deal with, and I sat back and I processed them, and I felt like what better way to get off and express myself, and hopefully it reaches somebody out there and they might be going through the same thing, than to do it this way with my guys on our show, on the platform that we're creating that's specifically for that. It's a safe place where you could be you can express yourself the way you need to express yourself, and you could just get it off the way you need to get it off. So today I want to talk about our babies, and it's mixed feelings, because it's going to be a lot of smiles for me and a lot of joy, but at the same time, it's going to be a lot of real feelings being shared on my end, and hopefully, fellas, you'll follow suit and do the same. I just want to know the role that our kids play in our lives as far as our peace of mind, our mental health, not just our kids, close family also, if that's where you want to go with it. But for me personally, it's going to be geared around my children a lot, because they bring me back, they bring me peace, and they bring me a certain amount of stability that I really need. And I want to know how y'all see it, because they're my greatest joy. So I just want to share and kick it with y'all a little bit.
Wow.
Cool.
All right. I thought you was gonna start it off.
You want me to go first? Yeah, I go first. Because you could just you could put me on the spot.
I
like
suggest
that
you start it off,
and
because
let me go
our
first,
conversation before this, you had a great emotional engagement just now. So I don't want you to lose that. Go ahead, start it off, man.
Nah,
I was there yesterday.
Yeah, it's there. usually I don't want to go first because it's like I'm doing the intro. I don't want to just seem like I'm just talking. And once I get in my bag, I'm gonna be running my mouth. But since y'all want me to go first, I'll go first. Like I was telling y'all, I give the audience some context. For those who don't know, my mom's has passed away since I was very young. I didn't get a chance to really know her and experience her. I don't have any memories of her. So I went to go see her at her tomb, her gravesite, because I was having a really rough couple of days. And usually when I go out there and soak up some of her energy and just be around her, she's watching over me. I believe in that. I endorse that for people that feel that way. So when I need her, I go out there and I try and get some of her. And I went out there and it was really rough, man. It was really tough. I cried my eyes out and I bawled and I got on my knees and I hugged her tombstone because I just needed to feel her. I just need my moms, and I'm not afraid or ashamed to say that. For somebody who's lost someone who's so important to them, maybe the most important person in their life and in their world, then maybe you could relate. But for me, that's what it is. It's really tough to not have a memory of someone who's supposed to be your everything. The person that protects you, the person that you confide in, the person that when you need to lean on, they're always supposed to be there to lean on you for the most part. And I needed to lean. So I went out there and I saw her. I took my wife with me and she sat back and let me do my thing. And I talked to her and I needed some answers. And I won't get into all of that because I'll be talking forever on here and I don't want to do that. But it took a lot. And it's taken a lot for me right now to not get too emotional just thinking about it and thinking about her and how much I miss her and how much I wish she was here. And just to be able to have a conversation, just to be able to get a hug from her. Just a hug from your mom's means the world sometimes. And I needed that hug. But at the same time, it brings me to the point of my kids. My kids, man, they're my joy. They provide something for me that I could never provide for them because I go through so much emotionally. They give me a certain amount of peace, a certain amount of satisfaction, and they allow me to be able to be me. They allow me to be able to come up out of the darkness sometimes. They fight the demons for me. I know sometimes I say I go through this and I do this, I do that. No, they fight the demons for me and they give me the strength. Maybe I'm sorry. Let me say that. They give me the strength to fight the demons. And I just want to know, what do your kids do for you? I'm not going to go too long. I got a lot more to say, but Rion, you wanted me to give some context. That's the context I got to give. Like I was going through a lot. I go through a lot. I'll get into that. I'm not depressed. I'm not, I'm a person. And that was me being a person. And it allowed me to sit back and think about some of the things and the people in my life that mean the most to me and what really helps me get through.
Definitely. I would say, yeah, kids do ease all the burden off your shoulders, especially like after long days of work. I'm a new father, right? Only 2 years, but I completely understand what you're saying because it's like one of that unfiltered love, right? Like there's no judgment when you come walking in from what you did during the day. There's no judgment after, like, say you and your spouse get into an argument. Though that just kids in general like filters all that out to where it's just like it puts you at ease, right? So I get what you're saying. Every day I come in and regardless whether my daughter is receptive to me or not, because she's more attached to her mom right now, right? I still love the smiles, love the hugs, love the presents. So that's what my daughter do for me. That's for me. It's like it's one of those easing things. It's like a security blanket for a kid, right? So, kids is like grown up security blanket in a sense, right? Because it's just like you get that immediate comfort once you're in their presence. I don't know what it's gonna be like during the teens. You could only explain that. I don't know if it's like that later on. You and Kofi, could fill that spot. But right now, it's like unfiltered, unbiased, like affection, and you get that immediate joy. So yeah, I agree with you. fights those demons. Because if I come in stressed, if I come in with like too much shit on my mind, whether it has to do with like health, because you put me through a bunch of health shit right now, or or like financial burdens or whatnot. Just tell my daughter, be like, all right, be cool. It is what it is. For that moment, for the time that I'm with her. So I completely understand that.
Yeah, man, it's unexplainable, honestly. Like, we could sit here and talk about it, but I don't even know how to explain it. Kofi, I want to hear your answer though, because I've been directly in contact with the babies, so I'm looking forward to hearing what they do for you.
I don't know if you're gonna they just
Yo.
He's like, I don't know if you're gonna like this.
You might be looking for something.
This is what I was talking about. Teen years may be different. When they get older, they be different.
You go searching long enough in the ocean, you find megalodon. No, they just keep me on my toes, honestly. I'm always working, so it's always on until I shut my eyes, because it's keeping things in order when my wife can't, and then still juggling stuff that I got going on with work, but like, oh, you said you did this but you didn't do this, or all right, cool, you did that, but teaching them something new, or answering a question, or it's a lot of like analyzation of like patterns too. Like, you start to realize, like, all right, you were like 10 steps ahead, for like the last month. Why are we back to where we were? So I don't understand. And so it's a lot of just like, especially at that age, like, controlling.
Kobe's not making me look forward to this, Meg.
Not biting your tongue, but recognizing your audience and delivering your message in a more concise way. And it's also sometimes it's influential leadership, where you can't really, I mean, you can, but like, that's no fun to tell them what to do. It's kind of like, wouldn't it be awesome if X, if you did that? Or wouldn't it be awesome if we could go someplace magical, but it requires the dishes to be done, or something, right? Like, it's a lot of like figuring out like ways to get things done without saying you want.
Wait, so Kofi, you do not find solace in your kids basically break it down?
No, it's not that. It's a different thing. It's honestly, it's not that. It's a different kind of thing. Like, I find peace and solace in figuring out routines and processes and all of that.
Okay.
So for them, it's like.
So you find peace in figuring out the problems, like, or figuring out the. Okay, I get it.
And after being in a position where I think everybody should manage a group of people at some point in their lives. If you can do it early on, it's good, because you meet so many different people, and you start to, if you analyze and you look at patterns, you can start to pick out, this is this personality, and this doesn't necessarily mesh well in this type of scenario. So like, I can start to spot, I don't want to say bad or good habits, just habits that I'm like, all right, well, if you kind of want to go down this road, then you need to like curtail this habit and focus more on this habit. Like, if you want, I don't know, like a plain example would be just in general, if you want to be if you want to own a cleaning service, right? Part of it might require you to be somewhat OCD, right? Because then you're seeing things as you're hiring people that they're missing, that you can train them about, like, hey, you should probably, pay attention to that a little bit more. So for me, it's good that I'm always on, because that's what I enjoy doing. And of course, we love them and have a good time with them. And, I get to torture them and take them to all the Marvel stuff, even if they don't really want to go. So, yeah.
I think, Kofi, your situation is really unique. And I want to give you some flowers because you deserve some flowers for stepping up and taking care of them, for loving them, for honoring your mom by being the person that they need you to be. So I think, and it's fairly new, you know, so
Yes.
it takes time for certain things to develop. And in the process of all of that, you provide them with a great life. You live in a great home. You take them places. You try to make sure they have the best structure and foundation that they could possibly have. Your wife, she's exceptional with them. You know, she's hands on. She's stepping up to the plate without getting into the details. This is not the life that you guys signed up for when you entered your relationship. So for
Right.
y'all to
100%.
step up, it deserves some applause. And I applaud you, dog. Like, respect
Thank
to
you.
you on that, for real.
Thank you. Yeah, and so you're 100% right about that. And then when you look at like how much time they have left actually in the house, you you have to start to say, all right, well, boom, you can't, like, there's love there, but it has to be more grooming for when you're not in the house anymore. Right. Or even before that, when you're out with your friends, like, you can't think that this is an okay behavior. And yeah, you know, you've only been around us 24 hours a day for the last 2 years, and it sounds like we're just nitpicking, but like, when you turn 14 and you have to make a decision on your friend has been drinking, are you going to get in the car with them, or are you just going to call one of us or walk home? Like, I need to make sure that you're going to make that right decision.
Yeah.
There's the whole, you know, 9 years before that or 10 years before that we didn't have, but need to instill the important things that are coming up immediately for the milestones.
Definitely. It's difficult. It's really difficult to balance the two of trying to instill a certain amount of structure and values in them. But at the same time, they've had a whole life. They've had more life without y'all than they have with y'all. So they've experienced things. They've had certain things go on with them. And now you're kind of trying to reshape and remold them while there's still time to do that. So I respect it. I get it. I just want to say, your love fixes a lot sometimes. You know, it may sound corny or whatever, but I believe it. Like, love does change people's lives, and it could really make a difference in especially a child. You know, like, it's hard to grow up and not feel loved. Everybody should be entitled to that. And I'm speaking from personal experience. Like, to grow up and feel like nobody loves you is a terrible feeling. And children shouldn't have to experience that because they're not here by choice. They don't just come through and be like, yo, we're staying here, this is us. No, they're helpless in that. And I think people kind of forget that when they start to say, yo, I wish I could go back to being a kid, or yo, you're lucky you're a kid, try and stay a kid forever. Maybe being a kid was a terrible time for you, and you don't want to go back to that. So it's two sides to the coin that I think people kind of need to start thinking about and examining, and it's never too late. So shout out to you, shout out to her, man. Rion, doing your thing. Everybody, I got a lot of respect for you. I'm not even going front. I really do.
So appreciate it.
Definitely.
I'ma just keep talking if don't nobody.
Oh no, I thought you. So here's what I thought. I thought you were gonna end with a little bit more, because like I said, I only have 2 years worth, right? 2 years worth of what you guys have been experiencing. So I thought you were gonna end with a little bit more.
I can go.
Kobe surprised me.
I don't know if you want to ask me anything. Listen, this is the one where I'm really an open book. Well, I'm usually always an open book, but this is the one where I can express whatever I need to express. And if it's something you want to ask, something you want to know, Please don't hold back. I just don't want to keep talking nonstop. That's why I keep stopping.
Oh,
You know,
no.
trying to sprinkle it in there.
No, like I had to figure out what was Kofi's really. When he explained it made sense. It wasn't like how we were viewing things, but it made sense. It made sense, like what he finds comfort in.
Yeah,
while
Kofi.
yeah.
Kofi is a savage. You know that. Kofi's a numbers guy.
Yeah, y'all be looking at me.
I know you didn't think he was gonna come on here and be like, "Oh, I love my
Yeah,
baby so
y'all
much."
be looking at me like
They
I'm a
make me
savage.
feel
I'm
so
telling you,
warm.
it's him. Kofi's a savage.
Yeah, Kofi's a savage, and
Kofi is seeing nothing but binary codes when he's solving problems.
yeah, I get it. Now I get where he coming from because I
And he
know a
loves
little
it.
bit of the backstory. So that's why I want to shout him out and give him some flowers because he's doing something that it really should be praised. Him and his people over there, they're changing two lives, you know, and it is very important to do that. For me, with mine, man, it's like it's weird because I grew up in the I'm not playing stepdaddy to nobody's kids era. You know, to where it's like, oh, if she got kids, I'm not with it. I don't want to date nobody. I'm not trying to be nobody's daddy and all of that. And now it's no turning back for me. You know, like the relationship, I don't ever see an end to it. But honestly, if it was to end at some point, I would still have to be in them kids' life. Like I'm not going nowhere. Like there's no step in my vocabulary when it comes to them. Like those are my babies too because they don't make me feel any less than a dad. You know, they don't show me, they hug me, they talk to me, my little one, Squirrel, the girl, I call her Squirrel because she's so nosy. So if you don't know Secret Squirrel, that was a cartoon, so I just call her my Squirrel. She's so sweet and she builds me up. She's just like me. Her birthday is 2 days away from mine, and it's crazy that something that you're not biologically connected to, you could be so similar. I see so much of myself in her. She's creative, she's smart, she's just a joy. And Amari, he's my little Captain America, man. He's good at everything and he's loving. He hugged me, he talked to me, he lay around with me and he kick it. And then there's Austin. Austin is the one, you know, like there's no separation, but me and Austin have a different type of relationship because I had to go through so much to be able to have this relationship with Austin. Like I fought to be able to be with Austin, to be able to let him know that no matter where I'm at or what I'm doing, I'm here. Like I'm gonna be your dad. And Christopher, man, he's been around forever. Like that's my guy. He's a man now, so I leave him out sometimes when I'm talking about the kids. But he's the beginning of what I needed. I just didn't recognize it at that time, and now I see that from Monday to Thursday or Sunday to Thursday, however it worked, I can be terrible. I could be sick. I could be having the worst days ever. But when Friday come around and I know I'm going to get Austin, my whole mood changes. Everything changes when I know Austin is coming. And when Austin gets around me, I'm back. I'm back where I need to be. When they're all together, it's like the Infinity Stones or something, whatever they're called. It's like, yo, they charge that battery and I'm ready to fight. You know, I'm ready to go. I'm feeling like myself again. And I have to give them that credit because I didn't recognize it at first. You know, you sit around and you try and figure out like, what's the matter with me? Why do I feel like this? What's going on? Why can't I just be happy when everything around me is good? I'm not broke. I live in a lovely home. I got my wife. Everything is good. There cannot be a single complaint about that. But inside, there's something that's missing. And they provide what's missing. They provide what I've always needed. Love. A family. I love my kids to death, man. It's nothing I won't do for them. It's nothing that I'll let happen to them. It's just it's real for me. And like I said, I sit here and I'll just keep running my mouth. And I don't want to do that because this is not the episode just about me. But if we're talking about what our kids mean to us and what they provide everything for me. They check every single box. Every headache is worth it. Every thing I gotta do that might be out of the way or inconvenience is worth it, because without them, I can't be me. I don't know how to get back to being me without them. So I'm okay with saying that.
That's so.
Yeah.
That was heavy. That was too heavy. Rion, you stop.
Yeah, I watched the Golden Child yet?
Huh?
George, did you guys watch the Golden Child yet as a family?
Oh, nah, actually, that's a good one, Kofi. I gotta put them on to that.
You know what? Eddie Murphy movie.
Yeah, I love Eddie Murphy movies. I'm not going for. I love Eddie Murphy movies, man. Eddie Murphy is the king to me. When he be like, "What's that you doing, Rion? Can I please have?"
Can
I please? Yeah, man. They watched Rocky 4 with me.
Oh wow.
That's how I knew it was real, because they actually all really sat there and was quiet and watched it. And when he lost, like, Omari was just shaking his head. Like, when Apollo got beat, he didn't like that. He couldn't take it. But I was like, nah, just chill. Like, it's a comeback story. There's more to it. Just wait it out. And it ended up being good.
Is Ninja Turtles, the first Ninja Turtles movie.
Yeah, they kind of off all. Well, Austin used to be a big Ninja Turtle fan, but now they off all of that, man.
Watch it, and it's just got to be one of those cult classics. It's gotta live on.
Yeah,
that first Ninja Turtles movie.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah,
You know what? I think we showed the kids part of that movie, and the part that like I point out to people that most people don't understand about New York City is, you remember when Raphael leaves the Turtles and takes that kid, and he wants to like infiltrate the Foot. The kid has to pass like the ninja test. So they go to Times Square and they join the pickpocket school. I pause it there and I tell people that's what Times Square used to look like. Like it wasn't Disneyland. Like it was pickpocket school, adult store, and a bunch of other pickpocket schools. There was no sitting.
Didn't he take him on 8th Avenue?
Yeah,
wasn't it 8th Avenue?
Yeah. That's fire. Rion, if you could pick one movie to show your daughter when she get older, that's like it means something to you. It's a family movie. What would it be?
Shit, there's a movie that means something to me, but I want to show my daughter. I'll show my upcoming son. Is Stand By Me. I watched that shit. Like I have the tape. I watched that. I think that. So I grew up.
They had the leeches on them.
Yes,
yeah.
I watched that religiously. I rewind that like how many times? I think that was part of like my growing up. Like, so before I do things, I always have that narration in my head. I used to love the series Wonder Years. I never missed and they remade it, and I never missed an episode of the Wonder Years. His brother came back into the exact same show called Boy Meets World, right? But I don't know those. What men coming to age films. I love Stand By Me because it showed like a group of friends, their dynamics with their family and their parents and their brother, and then a journey throughout, like a journey that they chose to set up on, and how they like developed amongst each other and developed into men. That movie, I love it. I even have the DVD right now.
Nice.
Like I made sure I bought it. Like I love Stand By Me, and I still love it. My girlfriend will tell you that's one of my all-time favorite movies. So I would definitely show my son that. Actually, he's definitely gonna watch that. He has no choice. Yeah. Remember, so my daughter, I don't know a coming-to-age movie for a daughter or something that I would like show my daughter. I don't know what to show Phoenix. I want to know. That would be on her. I don't know. The only thing I would show her, though, what I would do, I'm gonna pull that Bad Boy shit. And that dude come to the door. So definitely gonna do that.
Have me on the screen. I might not be able to.
You might have to find out, man.
Let her know. You ain't playing
They
no
have to fly down. Be like, yo, so you here to pick up who?
games.
He
Yeah,
mad at her later on though, so the scare tactic worked.
yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
The reason I ask about movies is because that was one of the things that my grandmother and I used to share when I was growing up. Is we would just watch movies, and like, you know, she wouldn't pay attention to, like, it's not like I'm watching like mature audience only. Like, she wouldn't pay attention to PG-13 or any of that. It was just, you know, there's something good on. Do you want to watch it? So, and we'd plot and we'd figure out movies that we want to see. I'll never forget. There were two movies that my grandmother and I always enjoyed sharing. And, you know, my grandmother was at home, so she didn't work very much. Whenever she got, you know, a little bit of money, I remember one of the movies I went to the movie theater with her to watch on 181st Street and Broadway was Rumble in the Bronx with Jackie Chan.
All right.
And like that, like, she loved Jackie Chan because it was like, wow, he's doing all these stunts, and he's really good at martial arts. So I always remember that. And when I was younger than that, I remember our favorite movie to watch outside of The Golden Child and all of the Eddie Murphy movies and all of, you know, Coming to America and all of that. Have y'all ever heard of Big Trouble in Little China?
Of
Yeah,
course.
of
With
course.
Kurt Russell.
That is my grandmother. That was my grandmother's favorite movie.
Nice.
Favorite. Like,
Nice.
just Kurt Russell's entire attitude through the whole thing. I think it was the one time, correct me if I'm wrong, there's a scene in there where, like, they get cornered by, like, the dudes, right? Like, the Flying Dragons or whatever they call themselves. And, like, the dude is, like, flexing, about to, like, kick Kurt Russell or whatever. Kurt Russell just pulls out his gun and shoots him.
Mm-hmm.
Cracked my grandmother up for days.
Yeah.
Because she's like, yeah, Bullet will put it into all that karate shit.
Yeah.
See something.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell
Definitely.
is
So
fire.
if you haven't showed the kids that yet, you definitely got to share that with them, because that's a classic.
First of all, when you mention Kurt Russell, my kid is watching everything Kurt Russell because these are all classics. He was in everything. Escape from New York, L.A., Stargate, Tango and Cash,
Tango and Cash.
Death Proof, Tombstone, The Thing. Like, these are all movies that's been remade to know, like,
Yeah.
no, this kid is watching
Kurt
everything.
Russell is fire. I love that, man. Like, yo, I just love sitting around and watching a movie with my family. It's something special about it to me. And it's the simplest thing. You know, it's not, you ain't spending a ton of money, especially in the house. Like, I don't really care for going to the movies like that, but sitting home and Austin likes to lie on the floor. It's plenty of room for him to lay, but he just want to grab a pillow, grab the cover, and lie on the floor, and we watch movies. That's our thing. Yeah,
It's
speaking
that
of like
bonding
old
time.
movies that y'all went to see, my pops took me to see What's Love Got to Do with It when it first came out. But yo, I think I would have been, I was too young to be going to see that movie. That's one of the things I do remember about hanging out with that dude. He took me to see, and I enjoyed it. I ain't going front. I still watch it when it come on, man.
But you know the difference. Kofi mentioned it too, right? And I think it's important to have that family time where everyone puts down their phones, their iPads, anything that's portable, and you just sit down in front of a movie. It helps that camaraderie. It helps that bond, right? But Kofi mentioned it too, and you just mentioned it sideways. Like, no one cared about the PG or rated R, but it was because you were sitting down. At least I believe, in my opinion, you were sitting down as a family. You're there as a parent. You're making sure this individual knows, you know, this rated R scene that you're seeing is life, right? Life is rated R, and then you're still able to filter, you know, what people now think everything is taboo and everything has to be screened, right? You're still able to filter, and it's like a teaching moment in a sense, right? Because I watched all those violent movies.
Yeah.
My mom didn't care about the rated R or anything. I still never cursed in front of her. I still don't curse in front of my mom. Never went to school and did anything crazy. Never picked, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where you could get into those teaching moments. Hey, this is not, you know, appropriate. So I agree with family time. I agree with the whole sitting and bonding thing. It's one of those things where you can reclaim, like, your parent. I can't come up with the word, but filter out what they learn on the outside and sit with them and dissect certain things. I agree with those moments. I told my girlfriend we was going to do it when these kids grow up.
Yeah. It was like if it's a nude scene or something, close your eyes. I'll tell you when you can look or turn your head. And that was it. It wasn't that big a deal. It's just a different time, man. Different.
Even the cursing and shooting, I watched it, didn't become ultra violent.
Yeah.
not at all.
Yeah.
So it's like, but the thing, like your family, your mom, your dad was there to be like, all right, this is life. This is what happens. Movie depicts reality sometimes, and this is how you're gonna deal with it.
Yeah.
So it also helps with these teach moments. It's a good teaching moment instead of just being like closed walls. How we are nowadays, everything PG-13. Why lock your thing? Your kid can't watch this.
Yeah.
All of that, all of the family time that comes with it. Even just sitting down having a meal with your family.
Around the table, yes.
Yeah, you know what? Like just sit there and talk and laugh. Like I soak up all that energy, man. I just watch them. I watch them just eat, and it might be weird, but it definitely means the world to me. And I want to just thank my wife real quick. Like I gotta give her some love, fellas, because she is the foundation of the family. I might be the one that does certain things and I bring a certain amount of energy to it, and I understand that, but she's the one that gave me that family presence. She's the one that trusted me enough with her children and that love my children as if they were her own. Like we're one. She don't use the term step with mine. I don't use it with hers. We are fully invested in this family and building this family, and they're gonna grow up together. They've been growing up together, and it's just great. And I wish that for somebody out there that might need it, that might want it, do what works for you. You know, people got a lot of rules and stipulations and comments and opinions on what a family is supposed to be and what a real man and a real woman is, and just all of that nonsense. Do what works for you, what makes you happy, and do it with some sort of integrity and honor, and you'll be fine. Nobody else is walking in your shoes or living your life. Be you and be happy.
It's a very good
Find
point.
your joy at the end of each day.
Because it's there. You're surrounded by it. Yeah, I gotta I gotta tell this story. Austin, he too young to be mad at me anyway, but yeah, he comes with a phone, right? From his mom's crib. So he got whatever he need here, but he got his phone and he comes with it, and for some reason it wasn't charging. It was time for me to bring him home. I'm like, yo, Austin, get your stuff. We gotta go. I see him messing with it, like the wire, trying to get it to work. And I'm like, what's the matter with your phone? He don't want to tell me. So I take it. It's not charging, but it looked like it got like spaghetti sauce or he was eating some beefaroni. It looked like he dropped it in the beefaroni somehow. I'm looking in the charger port. It's covered with orange sauce. It looked crazy. So I'm like, you already know what it is, dog. You're going to have to go home and explain this to why your phone ain't working. And I gave him the dad talk, like, you got to be responsible. I told you don't come over here and not be handling your business and taking care of your stuff. And he listened. But when I left the room, I peeked back and looked at him, and he was just sitting on his bed. And yo, I never seen a 10-year-old look so stressed out. Like, it was like he got a letter from the IRS or something. The way he was sitting there, I wanted to laugh, but I felt bad for him, so I started helping him. But and I guess it was the charger at my crib, because when he got home, it started working. I was like, yo, just text me and let me know if it's working. And he hit me as soon as he got home and was like, yo, it was working. But it was hilarious to see a child with real emotions, and you forget that children are people too. You know, they going through stuff too. Like, you can't judge the level of stress, because to them it's still stress, and life ain't easy. It ain't always perfect. People of all ages are going through things. It doesn't matter what it is.
No, that makes sense. That's a good point.
Kofi, on another note, yo, you your kids, they're very neat and tidy, though. Like,
That's all Cessna.
very neat and tidy. Yo, Rion, when I was making that cake, and I don't want to deviate, but I don't care. We can do what we want. When I was making that cake, they wanted to put some sprinkles on it, right? So I was like, all right, sprinkles don't usually go on red velvet, but I was like, nobody's probably gonna eat it anyway. Besides Kofi, and he's not gonna turn down those sprinkles. So we trying to throw the sprinkles on it, and they falling on the floor, but they getting them. They like, oh, I'll get it. The little girl, she went, grabbed the broom and the dustpan and the boy, and they wasn't having it. They was like, yo, we not leaving no sprinkles on this floor. They must have knew that if they came through, if Kofi and his wife came through and saw some sprinkles on the floor, it was going to be a price to pay.
I plead the fifth.
No abstract art in Kofi's house.
Yeah, no sprinkles on the floor.
Now, I mean, and it's, for Cecily and I, it's like we're teaching them like what you do here, you're gonna feel comfortable doing other places when we're not around, and that's a reflection on all of us. Like, I don't go to work and act like a jackass because I know, one, it's a reflection on my family. So when you get invited places by other people when we're not around, we expect you not to eat like you've never seen utensils before, or make a mess and then just like get up and go off and do something else. Like, I don't care. Like, we don't care if we have people over and they let their kids do that. Like, they get the look. Like, I don't care if they're outside having a good time. You should feel comfortable enough to ask your friends to help you clean up, or you're just going to be sitting there cleaning up everyone's mess. Like, because, again, how does that reflect on us as a family? Your counterpart, your sister or your brother, and the rest of us, if you just go to somebody's house and you make a mess and you just keep it moving and you bounce, like, nah.
Yeah.
That's not. Now, listen, that's not for everybody and that's not for everybody's family, but like for us, that's important. I don't want there to be an excuse like, oh yeah, those kids, they don't.
Be like, yo, they can't come back over here with that at all.
Right.
Nah, but yo, listen, man, thank you, fellas, for letting me get this one off. I really needed to express some things, and it was important to me. Congratulations to y'all on fatherhood. Like, you know what's up, and I look forward to seeing what the journey is like for y'all. I look forward to seeing what the journey is like for us, because we're all growing together in a certain way. And to somebody out there who might not have the relationship with their child that they really want, I plead with you. Pursue that relationship. You are entitled to have that relationship if you have something to offer. If you're doing the right thing and you're a good person and you're a good influence on that child, and that child came from you and you got love for that child, then don't let nothing stop you from trying to love that child, because it's worth it. The love that you will get in return is well worth whatever fight you need to go through to be able to have that relationship. Is very important. They don't see you for anything else except for who you are. They see your authentic self. Whatever the world may say about you, whatever other people may say about you, and the way they look at you, it doesn't matter. Your kids see you for who you are. So if it's something missing in your life, it could be that. I'm not preaching. I'm just letting you know what mine do for me. and I'm not ashamed to say it. They keep me going. They fight the fight. They show the love, and I have nothing but love to give for them, and I'll do whatever I have to do to keep my family together and to let them know that I will always be here. So, you already know what it is. Wherever you are, whoever you are, no matter what you're doing, just be inspired. Choose to inspire, not destroy. You heard? Peace.
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 Yo, 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 choose to inspire, not destroy. Peace, peace, peace.